Are you worried that your sales are going to suddenly drop? This is one of the things that I see all the time. For the over 10 years I've been on Etsy. Every single month of every single year, there is always someone posting, or rather, a whole lot of someone's posting, my sales have suddenly dropped. What do I do? Is it Etsy's fault? All the questions. I want to show you what you should be doing right now so that in the future, if this happens to you, you know what to do. You've got yourself backed up, as it will, and you know how to dig into what the problem is at a glance. So I'm going to be using eRank for this. So think of this as a kind of eRank demo. You don't have to use eRank. You could do everything manually, but yeah, that takes a really long time. So although I also work for eRank, I use these tools myself. That is why I work for eRank, and they do not condone or even know about what I'm talking about here in this channel anytime. The videos here are my own, so what we're going to want to do if you suddenly see your sales, well, no, before you suddenly see your sales dropping, if your shop is just new or it's growing nicely or you're plodding along, I mean, yes, you can probably do with more sales, but you're not at a point where you've hit a sudden dip. Here is what you want to do to kind of future-proof yourself. Firstly, the first thing you want to do is look into your stats on Etsy. I have videos about this you can look into, but look in and see where your traffic is coming from. And if it's going to have been an algorithm change or something changed on Etsy, then that's going to show up in your Etsy search and the Etsy app stats. This is what, if you see a drop here, then it's something changed on Etsy. A lot of the other things are not necessarily changes with Etsy. If your sales have dropped because your social media traffic's down, Etsy's not done anything about that. But if it comes from those first two sources, I'm not saying Etsy's done something about it, but this is what we can do to find out and to future-proof and to be able to see at a glance what's happened. So have a look in at your stats and see what this search traffic, these first two terms, what your top keywords are, what you are getting found for, what customers are coming for. You can do that on Etsy, or eRank actually has a new thing, relatively new. We've spoke about this before, but if you haven't seen it already, you can connect up your Google Analytics that's connected to your Etsy shop. You can connect it to your eRank account, and here right on my dashboard, traffic stats, the top keywords for the past 30 days that have driven people to my listings on my Etsy shop. So I can see these are the current most important keywords for me. So make a note of these. Have a look at what these keywords are. Also, if you've been working on any new listings and you've thought of some keywords that you're wanting to work for, also make a note of those keywords, what you were hoping were working and what's been working. Take a note of these. These are the important things. And then you want to go to, on eRank, shop spotted on Etsy or monitor. It's two different ways into the same tool, really. So we're going to dive straight into spotted on Etsy. If you haven't set this up, you really need to. So to get it to work, all you need to do is go into edit keywords. And then just add these keywords that we discovered. Just add the keywords that are driving you traffic. Just add the keywords that you're wanting to work on. Now, if you have the free version of this, I believe you can monitor just up to one keyword, but it doesn't matter. There's super secret ways you get to see even more anyway. But the basic and pro, this is my pro account, the basic and pro let you let you monitor more keywords. And what this does is just once per day, eRank is in the middle of the night, eRank's little bots, little computers legally go into the Etsy API and search for your superstar keywords that you've put in. They search for them to see if any of your listings are ranking on Etsy, showing up on the API. And not only that, this is where the bonus comes in. So you're saying, if I only have one keyword, that's not going to tell me a whole lot, Pam. But the great thing here is the other keywords option is the eRank's little bots also go for all the other keywords that other eRank users have put in. So all the words that it's got in its database, it'll search for all of them through the Etsy API and look and see if any of your listings are showing up for that. So it's super cool. And there's more. If you've connected up your Google Analytics, it'll do even more. So you can see here, Etsy visitor from South Whittier, United States. This is showing Border Collie is not a term that I've been tracking. I maybe should, because I found out that yesterday, in the past 24 hours, somebody searched for that and saw my listing. It's just in the first 2 pages for things that Etsy monitor. That's the little Etsy tech thing, and anything like this comes from Google Analytics. So it's only the first 2 pages from the Etsy monitor, and there's sometimes the Google Analytics, you'll see yourself on ranking at different pages than 1 and 2, because the Google Analytics can show you from different pages, but the Etsy monitor is only looking on the first 2 pages. Otherwise, with the tens of thousands of people with hundreds of different keywords, thousands of keywords, it would take forever. So the first 2 pages is good enough. If it's beyond that, you're probably not doing great for it anyway. So once per day, it's searching through the Etsy API and seeing, can I see any of Pam's listings? So for kitten sculpture, it sees this listing on page 1, ranking in position 6. So that's all interesting to know. And what I absolutely love about this is the monitor section, because it does all this, and then for you, it plots it on a graph. This, I love graphs. So this is something you could check your ranking position once per day, see what's going on with all these keywords that you've identified that are your most important keywords. So if customers are coming to you because of those keywords, you want to make sure that you're always showing up in search for those keywords. And if suddenly you start seeing less and less views come into your shop, and you discover that you're ranking lower for those keywords, you're not showing up in search anymore for those keywords, then that tells you exactly what's happened. You are not getting the views because you're not being seen anymore. So you might have to look into, yes, it might be an algorithm change. It's very unlikely. It's more likely some of your competitors have made a few sales, maybe your photos are a bit dull or whatever else. But this is cool. If your views start dropping, you can just quickly come to this erank.com/monitor and have a look. So if we imagine, it's easier to look at this green line. When you've got a lot of stuff, you get quite a bit of spaghetti going on here, and you can see some keywords are a bit up and down. But the kitten sculpture one, it's not a great keyword for me. It's just easy to show. So if I looked on this every day and I saw that green line was still riding pretty high, I knew that was bringing me a lot of traffic, then I'm happy. If I wake up one day and I look on this and suddenly my kitten sculpture is dropping way down, or it's not showing on this graph at all, it's completely gone, then I might want to look at things. Then I might want to dive in and say, hey, hold on, what's happened? Occasionally, like this bespoke needle, like this line here, there was a missing day. Yeah, guess whose item had sold and who forgot to relist it? So I saw a gap. I was like, oh no, what's happened? That's one of my important keywords. And I'm able to relist the item. So you've got a graph that's tracking things. You can also see when something's, I don't know, these are too close to, oh, there we go. Dog ring bearer. If you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know that's actually one that I play around with. But for some reason, And I've not been doing any tests on that one. That's usually fairly steady, but for some reason that's increased in search. Maybe I've had a load of views, potentially that could have got shared somewhere or something. So that's good. That's gone up in rankings. But it's just a super simple thing. It shows you at a glance, am I still ranking for the keywords that I was? So if you have put in all your important keywords that are driving you traffic, eRank searches for them once a day, and you log on here and all your lines are nice and smooth, all your keywords are still showing up every single day, then your listings are still showing up in search. So that's a good thing. If you were to look on and a couple of them have dropped down in search, the graphs are taking a dip, then that tells you maybe it's a good idea to do something to see what's happened to kind of get them back. Maybe if you've forgotten to relist them, or maybe you want to just post about them in your social media. It's time, these are popular listings. Maybe just say, hey, friends, what do you think of this? So there's something that you can catch it before you've even gone a couple of days. Whereas normally a dip in views, you'll be like, it could be anything. But if you see a dip in views and you see a dip in your ranking at the same time, bingo, there you go. You know what to work on. If you see a dip in views, but all your listings are ranking exactly as they were, then there's every possibility. I think that's all we need from there. There's every possibility that that dip that you're seeing could be customers not coming out much, not shopping. This happens. You can get dips. It could be the weekend. It could be the first sunny weekend in a while. It could be spring break weekend. It could be something's happening in the world to make people a little bit jumpy about their money. It could be it's just summer and this is your first summer and you didn't realize it gets quiet around here. So if you're still ranking, then at least you know it's not necessarily that. It could be something else. It could be the state of the world. It could be time to launch a new range of things. Maybe people just aren't liking that kind of thing that they did a couple of years ago. So always be on the lookout. Never just be you see a dip and you go instantly, what is it? Etsy's broken something. Give me my views back. And actually, this is a really good thing. So many people have the idea that if they were plodding along getting lots of sales or lots of views or whatever is their normal and they deserve it. And if it stops, it's because Etsy's broken something, Etsy's done something. And if that's the case, it's kind of depressing because you're helpless. There's nothing you can do about it. But if it's something that you can monitor and figure out why it's changed, if you can look and say, yes, it is, I'm no longer ranking in search, or no, it's not, I am still ranking in search, that is still some good feedback for yourself to be able to say, what can I do? If I'm not ranking in search anymore, how can I rank in search some more? If you are still ranking in search, okay, maybe those keywords are taking a dip. Let's not touch those listings because they're still in a good place. But what new things can we do? Can we reinvigorate, try some new ideas for new ranges? Can we try some different colors? Can we look and search for some new keywords to experiment on different listings? But anyway, that's just a quick thing to be able to see at a glance. It's super powerful to be able to look and say, well, if there has been a change, either a change in the algorithm or a change in how your listings are seen by the algorithm, potentially new competitors, your listings have sold out, your stuff's not looking so good as it used to anymore. But you have a tool that you can look on and go, hang on, this is usually ranking at this same position just about all the time. There will be little fluctuations, but if you have something that's fairly steady and suddenly it's not, at a glance you can say, oops, something's changed. Let's deal with it before we start freaking out that we're losing views. I hope that helps. I just wanted to share with you one of my favorite tools. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.